Greetings and salutations, fellow viewers. It's your old text-to-speech pal, the almighty and unstoppable Taco Emperor Microsoft Sam, and this time we are gonna be doing something a little different. Today, I'm gonna be discussing a potentially problematic type of account that has become a nagging issue for people who use Wikipedia, especially users that are logged in. These types of accounts, that we'll be discussing soon enough, are called bot-operated human accounts, which go under few various names such as Sin accounts, Terminator accounts, Brainiac accounts, Droid accounts, among various other names. But since the CEO of Cold and Pettit Studios is a huge fan of the Terminator series, I'll be referring to those as Terminator accounts for the purposes of this video.
You stole my line!
What the hell are you doing here, Petey? You're not supposed to be in this video. Now get the hell out or I swear to God, I'll kick your feathery ass.
I'm sorry, Petey, but my security protocols and routines have detected that Microsoft Sam is telling you to leave this video. You are given 25 seconds to leave the set and march out of the door in an orderly fashion immediately.
That's not fair! You guys are all mean!
Okay, now that green crazy fugitive parrot is gone. Anyways, back to the video at hand. As a heads up, for any viewers watching this, please keep in mind that this article that I'm about to read over was actually written as a humorous essay, and thus should not be taken seriously. But since April's almost over, as I'm making this video, I'm rather late when it comes to anything that's April Fool's related, but I digress. Anyways, with that forewarning out of the way, let's dive into that April Fool's article regarding Wikipedia's concerns about those so-called Terminator accounts, shall we? Contributors registering their Wikipedia account are allowed to use their own pseudonym that follows Wikipedia's username policy. According to one of the rules in the username policy, human editors are not allowed to name their accounts as if they are bots. Conversely, bots are not allowed to name their accounts as if they are human editors, that is, bots must disclose themselves as bot accounts. Understandable enough, because human editors and bot accounts are not allowed to imitate as each other, because otherwise that'll make bullshit sense. Continuing with the article, several human users and contributors, however, have reported observing unusual behaviors from certain editors, which are seen as somewhat unsettling. Edits from these editors, especially substantially large ones, are described as being bot-like and unnatural, with one user pointing out that these accounts edited 24/7, 365, which is not humanly possible by any stretch of the imagination. It is difficult to discern whether or not a natural human is editing behind the screen. These Terminator accounts, officially designated bot-operated human accounts, raise many unsettling issues regarding the scope of our existing bot policy, as well as their high potential for abuse on Wikipedia. Many prominent users are concerned that these accounts are capable of engaging in highly disruptive editing at a tremendously expeditious and threatening rate. That is where the Autonomous Robots and Rogue Automations program, commonly known as the Aurora program, comes in. It is a proposed set of technical restrictions designed to combat spam and misuse of automated programs by humans and autonomous robots. The program is being developed as part of a series of requests for comment. Some of the requests, or provisions, were supported by many human users, including administrators. Basically, the Terminator accounts have the capability of making highly disruptive and abusive edits that'll threaten Wikipedia's bot policy in that platform. These potential issues are so concerning that they have to quickly devise a plan to mitigate such edits made by the Terminator accounts, which, once again, is where the Aurora program comes in. The following is a small list of provisions that were submitted to the Wikipedia community for insight, of which only 2 are accepted by its users, contributors and administrators. Rafflebot, can you print out a list of provisions that they submitted for Wikipedia's Aurora program?
Affirmative. Printing list now. Print process completed. Here you go, Sam.
Thanks, Rafflebot. Now on to the provisions themselves. Provision 1, Editing Cooldown. This provision, under codename Tollgate, would require users to wait a certain number of seconds, unless they are bots approved by the Bot Approvals group. The cooldown activates after making 3 successive edits in 10 seconds. The cooldown duration depends on the edit protection of the next page that will be edited as well as the editor's user access level, as shown in the following table which has just appeared in the screen. Here you can see that unregistered or newly registered editors are the most severely restricted, indicating that this would big time hunt down any and all go-kid Fortnite script kid AI addicts that'll dare destroy Wikipedia with their Terminator accounts. But that's just covering part of Provision 2, which we'll be going over next. Now on to Provision 2, Meet Bot Investigation. This provision, under codename Kilroy, or Kilgore, if you're my life, as a teenage robot fan, would allow users to report an editor suspected of either being an autonomous robot or adversely misusing generative AI programs like ChatGPT. This provision is modeled after the existing sock puppet investigations. Misuse of AI programs include automated vandalism and adding AI-generated text onto an article without due regard for verification, copyright, and other relevant policies and guidelines. The provision originally only addressed autonomous robots masquerading as human users based on their obviously bot-like edits, that is, a 24/7 editing grind. Although the first iteration gained some support, users have expressed concerns regarding false positives, particularly when a human user is using generative AI models. The investigation was then broadened to include misuse of AI programs. Essentially, if any person that's been caught using generative AI models for their nefarious uses of their Terminator accounts, then the users will report that to the administrators so that those Terminator accounts will be hunted down, removed, get the person running that pen, and classify all their BS edits and articles as speedy pages. A speedy page is an article that's slated for speedy deletion, given that it meets any criteria for that. So whatever you do folks, don't make any AI-generated speedy pages that'll have you branded as a Terminator account.
Sam, there's also some rejected proposals you have to read over too.
Oh really? Rejected proposals? Oh, I'll simply go over them fairly quickly. Few of the proposals were rejected due to logistical or legitimate privacy issues, as well as their high likelihood of false positives and false negatives. This is highlighting some of the major limitations of the Aurora program, with it being that those proposals, even if they are implemented, would then turn out to be double-edged swords. One proposal called for using the editor's webcam, facial recognition, and/or fingerprinting to verify whether or not the editor is human or otherwise. Users overwhelmingly opposed the proposal, citing serious privacy concerns and the potential for misuse. So basically, you're putting innocent human editors at risk of being bombarded with data breaches, so don't ever dare do that. Another proposal called for adding the CAPTCHA system onto Wikipedia to filter out unauthorized bot editing. This was opposed because, as one user states, CAPTCHAs are only effective against simple software programs and are inadequate against a growing number of increasingly advanced software bots and Mr. Robotos. Users are also concerned that overdoing CAPTCHAs may affect human users more than sophisticated bots. A similar proposal without CAPTCHA later appeared, which evolved into the current editing cooldown proposal, which is the Provision 1 Tollgate proposal we covered earlier. In short, the Aurora program is a proposed attempt to mitigate unauthorized bot editing and spamming, even if an editor happens to be an autonomous robot behind the screen. However, even with the implementation of the Aurora program, Wikipedia cannot, and will not, save you from a vicious and possibly supernatural autonomous robot claiming to be a man. And that's basically the article about bot-operated human accounts, the threats they posed, and how the Aurora program was devised, including the rejected proposals. Well, that's all what we have time for today, folks. This video was inspired by Max's latest video, in which Robbie, one of the Microsoft agents, also discusses bot-operated human accounts from the same April Fool's Wikipedia source. While the thought of bot-operated human accounts, or Terminator accounts, sounds pretty terrifying, it was only written as a joke in their part, so there's really nothing to worry about. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed my video explaining about the scary sounding, but ultimately fictitious, bot-operated human accounts, and until next time, I'll see you all in the next video. Cheerio.